Hi guys, welcome back to Every Day with me, Nick, and a special guest, VIP guest by the way, the one and only Andy Dudley. Cheer everybody, yay! So Andy has come because, I'm not going to say this because I like Wood Miser, but I've had a fault with the HD38 and Andy's been my knight in shining armour. So first of all, thank you for coming, Andy.
No, good to see you.
It's a bit of a late old thing. But anyway.
It's only taken me, what?
A few hours. That's Josh's fault. Hi, Josh. So Andy kindly said that he would come and upgrade the software. Software?
Yeah, firmware in it, yeah.
Firmware in the intelliset controller, which I have installed on the HD38. It has been running, generally very well, but I've had an issue where it's been coming down on the rails and it's done this raise lower at it.
Yeah, it's kind of judded, hasn't it? It's tried to find its setting by going up, back down again.
But we lose the actual measurement, so we may get, it may be 2 mil out, it may be 5 mil out. I've had times when I've been cutting 19 mil boards and they've turned out to be 25 mil, so there's a big difference.
Yeah.
And when every little scrap helps. So Andy's come up from Global Machinery headquarters and made this firmware update. We're still not fully there though, are we?
No, not quite. No.
But I wanted to take the opportunity of Andy whilst he's here, because we never got to do this at the show, which I'm really gutted about, because we had all the machines there.
Yeah.
And as you know, I've spoke very highly of the Frontier mills in the past. I've got one myself. I've got the OS27, which I started 3 years ago. 3 years?
Yeah, it must be 2022, yeah.
Yeah, early 22, because you invited me to the show.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So I got the OS27 3 years ago, and that just milled. There was never an issue with that, was there?
No.
They're straight out of the box.
Yeah,
they just work, don't they?
They do, yeah. I mean, the only sort of phone calls I get with Frontier Mills is if somebody's getting a wavy cut, and that's something that I can talk to people over the phone about, what to adjust, what to check. But on the whole, a Frontier mill goes out, and the only thing we ever hear really is if somebody phones up for some blades, or they need a winch brake cable for it, or they've got an issue with it's doing a wavy cut. What do I need to do?
Absolutely,
they are as good as gold. Yeah,
they are. They really are for a budget mill.
Yeah,
they're capable, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we always say that they're a budget mill, but the quality of them is far from budget. A lot of the stuff,
agreed,
that comes out of China. China does get a bad name for production of equipment, and you do get good machinery from China, and you do get bad machinery. Unfortunately for us, as you may know, Frontier is actually made in China. When Norwood decided to come out with a budget sawmill to compete against other mills on the market, they actually took the Norwood design and went to China to a manufacturing facility and said, we want you to build the mill using these components, and we want you to build it to this specification. So they oversaw the whole quality control of it from start to finish, because at the end of the name, at the end of the day, their name is behind that mill. Sure. And everybody knows how a quality Norwood product. So they wanted Frontier to be just the same. So
not this one.
This one's absolutely fine. It's fine. It's the operator.
I had a Friday mill, guys, and if you don't know what that means, it's like a Friday car built on a Friday with less care given.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the nuts and bolts of the machine; it's the nut that's actually operating it.
Oh, it's a good job I like it. No, I said to you about the OS35, didn't I? And I've seen that in person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to have seen. I'd a log on that one. Yeah. Because it's got the 21 horse Rato engine.
Yeah. What are we on that? 22 horsepower.
Oh, 22.
Yeah, 22 horsepower V-twin on that.
Yeah.
I had that running in our workshop actually a few weeks. It was a couple of weeks before Christmas. Okay. I had a guy come over from Wales to come and have a look at it. I put a piece of, what was that on that, 30, I think it was 32-inch Douglas fir. Wow. We milled some boards off that, took some videos of it running, and he was super impressed, and he said, I'll have it. And that was it, deal done. So actually on Saturday, I'm off to deliver that to him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So and that's so customisable as well. They've took that budget mill and allowed that to be customisable as well, haven't they?
Yeah, so on the
Hydraulics and
on the OS35 you can have a hydraulic package for that one. And that is a complete hydraulic package. You can't, unlike the Norwood system where
It's
you can buy
modular.
you can buy the hydraulics in, you can buy the log turner and then the log rests whenever you want. On the 35 it is a complete hydraulics package in one for that.
Yeah. That's a shame for someone who maybe wants to start out with something and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But I understand why. Is it a difference in price as well? Like comparatively to
The hydraulic system
Norwoods and the Frontier?
it's slightly cheaper because you can't get hydraulic log loaders for the OS35.
Okay, right.
It is log clamps, toe boards and turner.
Okay,
That's it.
right. But I think that's a great thing for that Frontier OS35. It looks great. It looks a different machine, and with having a V-twin engine on it, it's smoother.
It is, yeah.
I love running this.
Yeah.
When other than the blade noise,
Yeah.
the engine itself is lovely.
That's
it's
it.
Quiet, so quiet. And I mean, obviously, you've got the OS18 as well, the pocket mill.
Yeah.
Is that niche in the UK, or is it?
I've only I've sold one of those, and that was from APF. I thought that might actually go a little bit better here in the UK.
Like backyard sort of stuff.
Yeah, because it's so portable. Obviously, we do the PM14, which is a chainsaw Norwood mill.
Yeah.
But the OS18 is a true bandsaw mill with an 18-inch capacity of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's ideal for somebody that's doing bits and bobs at home in the garage. It's easily fold up, take apart.
Even a tree surgeon who just wants to sort of, if they've got something off their job and they want to mill it up. I thought that would have been a big thing for them.
Yeah.
And it's like a sap barrow almost as well off the rails, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got some little pneumatic wheels on the pneumatic. Pneumatic wheels on the back. You put your handles on and you can off you go with it, can't you? You can store it.
Wheel it about.
Store it away.
Yeah.
And it's quite flat as well, isn't it?
Yeah. The two tracks as well. They unbolt and you can just pick them up and hang them on a couple of hooks on the wall.
So I thought the OS18. It's not for me. Actually, things like in a workshop where you've got a bit of flat surface or something, it doesn't take up that much room. You could have it in and out set up within a matter of 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, easily, yeah.
And milling something quite easily that's manageable.
Yeah.
So that's the Frontier. Obviously, there's OS18, 23, 27. Have they disbanded the 31?
There is a 31 and then the 35, but here in the UK, we're actually just selling the 35, the 27 and the 18.
Good choice.
Because of the overlap that you get with the Norwood range as well. Again, with the Norwood range, you're going from 27-inch, 30-inch, 36 and 38. Yeah. So in time, we will phase out the Norwood 27-inch because you've got the Frontier 27-inch machine. Sure.
Is that the LM30?
MN27.
MN20. Okay.
MN27.
Oh, you still sell that one?
Yeah. Yeah, still got that. Yeah.
Right. So there's a big range for everyone and a budget to suit. That's definitely what I would say with either of the brands. But me and Andy have always had this sort of funny tennis match, shall we call it? Wood Miser, Norwood, and we've just been on about the resale market, haven't we? Yeah. You've seen, especially with being the dealer, second-hand units don't stay around long, do they?
No, second-hand Norwood units, they're usually on the market for a week or so and they're gone. They are a sought-after mill on the used market. Sure. It's rare that you see one.
But I was just saying to Andy, not only 10 miles away from where I live, there's a Wood Miser LT40 wide with the extended monorail track. To give it a wider capacity, and it's been dropped so many times in price that it's a very, very good buy. It's almost a steal.
Yeah, it is.
For the mill, for 4-year-old mill. And no doubt they will have had to wait a year to 18 months for that as well.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. I mean, back in the time that came out, so
that's peak of
COVID. Yeah. I know that brand had sort of long lead times, anywhere from 9 months to 2 years for some of their models.
Absolutely.
And that's where Norwood won a lot of their business, is
by availability, wasn't it?
Yeah, by us being the dealer here in the UK, Global Machinery, we had stock of every single sawmill model.
Yeah.
So through the COVID times and the year or two after that,
You was well ahead, weren't you?
yeah, it was crazy time.
And would you say is that because the chalk and cheese, or is that just because you as a company you have sort of took the initiative to stock up and get them ready for the customer before, or not waiting for a on-demand sale?
Yeah, so we look at we try and do a forecast and a budget of what we're going to sell in the following year. So we were taking it from sort of 2019, the sales that we did there, and then we thought, right, we're going to increase it by this amount of percentage. So we then forward ordered, more mills in, and then we were getting a delivery of mills every 3 months.
Okay.
So we could always increase if we needed to from the factory. And that's how we got our stock of mills, because we just saw that the sales increasing and increasing. Now, since 2023, we have seen a decline in sawmill sales. Not just sawmill sales; it's everything.
Yeah.
So we sell, a lot of forestry equipment, wood chippers, stump grinders. We sell shredders, and construction equipment as well. And we just saw, the decline. Everybody, not just our company, but everybody throughout the UK was seeing a dip in sales.
Yeah.
And that's, through 23 and through 24. 24 it started to level off. But yeah, hopefully 25.
Business-wise, it's difficult, isn't it?
It is, yeah. People are holding on to their money longer.
Yeah.
We've had the cost of living crisis. We've had change of government. Yeah. Energy costs, things like that. Media scaremongering as well. Does not help whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. No. And so, like, when I first phoned Andy up, I didn't know him from Adam for the first time with the Frontier Mill, and it was like I'd done my research. I'd looked at the Woodland Mills, I'd looked at Woodmiser and went, nope, I can't afford that. I looked at the Chinese models that were on eBay and things like that, and I phoned Andy up, and I felt you straight away. Not in a weird way, of course, but I felt the vibe, And he said, "Yeah, we've got stuff in ready to go on the shelf." This is my next question, though. Do you reckon that you guys have got a better delivery time because these are self-built and they're not fully manufactured?
Yeah.
Ready for delivery sort of thing. You do offer that service.
We do, yeah. So 99% of the sales of Norwood mills go out for the customer to self-build. They do come in kit form.
And it's a pain in the ass, guys.
No. All you have to do is read the book.
It's a 5-day job.
Read the book. Read the instructions.
It's a 5-day job, though.
It is a week's work. But you get to know that machine intimately. Every single last nut and bolt on it.
I agree with that.
You get to learn about the machine. But yeah, we have 1% of the customers that will pay us to actually put the mill together. They sort of reckon on that the time it takes them, the money they would lose in their day-to-day job, is not comparable to what we would charge. So they just say, yeah, build it for us. So that's not a problem.
And I agree with getting to know the mill intimately, because I had a bolt or a screw fall out of the guide block on the sawdust side. And when I seen it on the floor, I knew instantly where it was.
Yeah.
Instantly. And I knew where to put it back with thread lock.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so that is the joy of putting things together. But at the same time, you have got to take a week out to, at least a week if you really want to be so methodical and take your time with it.
I mean, so one of our engineers in our workshop, it takes him 40 hours. If he's building an HD38, with the road legal trailer package, it's 40 hours work, and he's built several now, so that is the kind of benchmark that we work to. I've put an HD38 together myself, just a static one, and that took me 30 hours to put together.
I would definitely say if it didn't have the trailer pack on, easier, much easier. Yeah, just like when I did the Frontier Sawmill.
Yeah.
The carriage is pretty much put together. Anyway, so.
Yeah, the Frontiers are easier to put together. The carriage is already pre-built for you.
Yeah, they
so you're basically assembling the frame around it.
Is the 35 the same?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, why didn't I go with the 35, guys? Right, so this is the $1 million question. And I asked you it earlier, and I didn't really get an answer because I wanted to get your answer on the camera. Why go for you? Why go for you, Andy Dudley, who works at Global Machinery Solutions, for a Norwood stroke Frontier sawmill?
Compared to other?
Compared to, let's give you the other. We've got obviously Woodland Mills as a portable not sawmill. We've got Wood-Mizer. We've got some Chinese brands out there. We've got Kelfrey. I don't know if you've heard of Kelfrey before, but they're a dealer for one of a particular brand. You've got Logosol. Who else would you put in the bracket of portable sawmills? I think they're pretty much the main contenders.
Yeah, the only ones I can... So on the Frontier range, so we pitch that range against Woodland Mills. They are a very similar looking mill, but yet we have all the Norwood patents on the Frontier. So when it comes to sort of saw head carriage lift and lower, we have the same patent on a Norwood, say HD36, as we do on an OS18 or an OS35, which is infinitely adjustable, and that's a real benefit. Other budget mills on the market have a what would you call it, a ratchet and pull system.
Yeah, and a detent system on a disc.
So if you needed to be in between the two detents, you can't.
Yeah. So just pausing you there, keep your train of thought there. That is why I went with Frontier originally. Right. That's why I went with your Frontier, because there's an infinite amount of scale.
Yeah, infinite amount of adjustment.
Yeah, so if I wanted that little tiny bit, you know, I'm not saying that the others might get there or something, but this was at any point. There wasn't a detent scale that I had to stick to. Sorry.
So yeah, on the budget range, so Frontier, we carry the units in stock. So from point of sale, so once they're cleared your funds, it's usually with you within 7 days. So it's obviously got everything here in the UK, comes straight out of a warehouse in the UK, and then gets delivered out to the customer for build up.
I'm going to give us something soft to sit on. Look at that. There you go.
Better.
Is that a little bit more foam for the that's nice.
Perfect, a bit warm as well.
Yeah, all right. Get down. So that's the front. Yeah, so that there would have been in the. Would you say like Frontier and Woodland Mills? Like up to a certain model in that range, or all of the models?
How do you mean?
Frontier's sawmills. Yeah. Would you say that every bit of the Frontier sawmill range would have matched the equal to Woodland Mills and Logosol?
Yeah, I mean Logosol. So Logosol I've put in the sort of premium range.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So Norwood, Wood-Mizer, Logosol premium range.
Right.
Frontier, Woodland Mills budget range, and obviously the other Chinese makes on the market as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, main thing for us, stock backup, also parts backup as well. So we have most of the fast moving parts on the shelf. So if you ordered a part from us one day, you should be able to get it delivered the next. When it comes to your premium range, why Norwood over Logosol and Wood-Mizer? I suppose I have to be careful what I say really. I will say, in this day and age, everything comes back to
cost.
Not just cost, it's backup. As in, it's your service backup, customer service. Customer service is absolute paramount in any industry. If you have a bad experience with, you're going to go and buy a Hoover,
I would have said a car.
Okay, then go and buy a car. So let's say you bought a German make of car and you had issues with the dealership that they haven't got the parts in stock for it. You'd have to wait 3 weeks till you get the part. It's a bad experience. You think, do you know what, I'm not going to use that German manufacturer. I'm going to go to another car manufacturer and get better service. So it's all about your customer service. It's about the knowledgeable people behind it as well. Machinery wise, I say this to everybody, Wood-Mizer is the Rolls-Royce of sawmills.
Of portable sawmills.
Yeah. But they do command a Rolls-Royce price.
Yes.
I always like to think the Norwood sawmills, and I've said this to Josh, I think we're the Aston Martin of the world.
Oh, okay, nice.
But the main bonus is Norwood sawmills are modular, so you can add any of the options once you've built the mill.
Sure.
with other makes on the market, you have to buy it at that specification, and then you can't add anything else extra to it.
That's a good point, that.
Yeah, so you can start with this mill, for instance, as a static unit. In 5 years' time, you could have bought a trailer package for it. Another 5 years after that, you could buy the hydraulics for it. You can just keep adding to it as and when you can afford it, or as and when you need to, as your milling needs change. For somebody that's only using it a couple of days a week, they probably wouldn't have a hydraulic system on it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then if your business took off and you're going out contracting with it on a daily basis, you'd want the hydraulics just to make your life a lot easier.
That's a good point. That I didn't think about that. Yeah, because when you buy, let's use Wood Miser like, as that comparison. The spec of that bed is as it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't add to that bed. It is.
I don't believe you can. I mean, I might be wrong.
Yeah, I might be wrong as well.
I'm sure you buy it at that preset length.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now, whether you can get extensions for them, I don't know.
I've never looked into that. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, Wood Miser, if anybody watches this and says, yes, we can add extensions on. Sorry, we're not up to date with that or aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Wood Miser is a fantastic product. It really is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to costs as well.
So that's what I was. So when I said when you were umming and ahhing, you said ultimately it's customer service. But I think when people are in the market, it's cost first.
Yeah.
See where things lie. So you've got two price differences. And then I think what that customer looks at doing, it goes out and does then, is research. Mm-hmm. So he sees the price, he gets the quotes.
Yeah.
Then he goes onto the forums, then he goes onto Facebook or Instagram, and he starts seeing what other people are saying, or the customer starts asking questions. What's the service like? What's the parts like? What's this? What's that? And then I think that's when what you said there comes down as a paramount selling point.
Yeah.
Is the backup. And for me, Andy's been very good to me. You've almost been day and night sometimes, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because I work all dodgy hours.
My job position within the company, I've been with our company now for 20 years. I take my job very personally. I treat people how I would expect to be treated as well, especially in the service industry. If I don't get good service, I'm not a happy bunny, and no. I don't see why. When somebody phones up and says, "Right, can you give me a price for this?" If I miss their call, they'll get a call back the same day or within 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah. I'm not of the type of, I'll give you a call in 5 days, or I'll just forget about it altogether. Yeah. And that's what I've heard across the industry from other manufacturers. So for me, my job is personal. I want everybody to be happy with their mills. I've had customers with Norwood mills that have built them, and they said, "Oh, it's not doing this, it's not doing that." And I've jumped in my truck, driven to see them, gone through a few adjustments, and they're like, "You know what, that's fantastic, fantastic service. My mill's working perfectly. Thank you very much." I want everybody that's running a Norwood to be happy, and obviously Frontier as well. Yeah, that's it. If they're happy, I'm happy. If they're stressed, it stresses me, and I just need to get them sorted out.
Well, the customer that's bought it has bought it for a reason, and it's for work, isn't it? Like any piece of machinery that anyone buys for business, it needs to be working. Yeah, doesn't it? It needs to. If it's not working, it's not making the money.
That's right.
And for you to take on that mantle of, I'm there for you. Kudos, man. Yeah, I like that. And you have, haven't you? You arranged this day with me and said, well, it needs a firmware update, and we're going to check it out. And happy days. I can't fault. Thank you. Yeah, It's really nice. And and I think there is so much option out there, especially with like Chinese stuff coming out onto the market, and it's cheaper, much cheaper. Mm-hmm. Considerably cheaper as well. But who do you go back to when that breaks?
That's it.
Where do you go for your parts when they break? Blades, all right, you can get them anywhere. You could get generic ones, or you could go to you, or you could go to Wood Miser, you could go wherever. But ultimately, you want to know where you're coming back to with that machine. So, and Christ, where do we leave? Where does that leave us? So, get yourself in touch with Andy of Global Machinery Solutions to get, if you're looking in the market, don't just take my word for it because I've bought two of the mills. That's the truth of me, isn't it? And by no means super duper successful businesses like You showed me some pictures earlier of a cabin builder. You know, there's just so many different levels of businesses that how they use them, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I've had
Or not even business.
Yeah, I mean, people say to me that, you know, who's your main customer of a sawmill, and it is absolutely anyone from all backgrounds. So I've sold them to farmers that are doing post and rail fences.
Yeah. Talked to a lot of farmers whilst we were there, haven't we? Well, at the show, the APF show.
Obviously, sold one to the farmers, tree surgeons, where they were finding that obviously they could get more money from their log waste by milling it and selling it on instead of splitting it for firewood.
Firewood, yeah.
I've had a butcher buy a mill because he was based up in Scotland. I've got 3 customers within like a 3-mile radius of Fort William.
All right.
One makes glamping pods. One makes larch cladding for his son's building business. And the other guy is the butcher who does a lot of venison and things like that.
Right.
And his sideline, again, is milling larch.
Oh, okay.
So it's like when you said, oh, I'm a butcher and I'm looking for a sawmill, I'm like, what are you
putting
on there? Cows?
Are you going to put a metal blade running on it? And
he says, no, he says, I've just got people that, you know, want to buy larch from me, you know, milled larch. So he says, yeah, it's just an extra sideline, extra
Nice.
income. So none of those 3 guys step on each other's toes whatsoever.
Crazy, isn't it?
But yeah, all walks, like even furniture makers as well. I sold a mill to the Orkney Islands. That was a Frontier for a furniture maker. So yeah, it's all walks of life. Yeah, it's all sorts.
Well, I started just making fence boards.
Yeah.
You know, it was out the peak of COVID, where garden furniture, garden materials was just non-existent or sky high.
Yeah.
I am seeing them prices vastly come down though. Comparative to builders merchants or something like that. So like prices, it's not worth doing sometimes. Depends on what the order is. But there is something, and I was telling you as well, I'm looking at diversifying the business myself to take on new adventures. And I haven't said it in the video yet because I'm waiting, but there is an adventure we're taking, you know, obviously, because I've talked to you, and there may be the machine that we demoed at the show coming here to do that adventure with, but I just need to do it to say we've done it, can we do something with it, and go from there. Is there anything new and exciting that's coming in the future or not? Because I asked this to Josh and he didn't really give anything out, but obviously you'll know once Josh releases it. Josh Ince from Norwood, who was at the show. So is there anything that we can really say?
No, nothing at the minute. No. Obviously now in the UK, when it comes to blades for the mill, so we've released Stellicut blade. So it's a stellite tipped blade. Every third tooth has got a piece of stellite.
On the neutral tooth, that one as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So the stellite blades, they are twice the cost of your standard saber tooth blade, but you're going to get them lasting 20 times longer. So if you're getting approximately 2 hours of cutting time out of the standard blade, big box, you're going to be getting 40 hours out of a Stellicut blade. So yeah, we've had some good reports back from them. And we carry those in 2 sizes at the minute, in 167 inch long and 144 inch long as well.
So that covers, guys, the Norwood range of the HD 36 and 38.
Yeah.
And then it covers the Frontier range.
Yeah, it covers all the ranges of Norwood, and it covers the Frontier range from OS 35 down to OS 27.
So they have the thought about not just the higher range mill, but they've obviously thought about the budget mills as well. So as you guys know, I did run a Stellicut blade, and it did break on me, which we're going to give you that bit anyway. But it did break on me. I know that Jerry Beaumay, Bigelow Woodcraft, go check him out, guys. You know I'm always giving his channel a shout out. He had one break, but he also had some bearing issues as well on his pulley wheels.
Right. Okay.
So he's changed them out now, and he thinks that could have affected the breakage.
Yeah.
So Jerry's replaced his his bearings in the pulley wheels. He's done some serious hours, serious board footage with that mill, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean the bearings, the band wheel bearings on Frontier, they're classed as sealed for life. There is no grease point on them whatsoever. So a sealed for life bearing may be sealed for life, but it will fail at some point.
It's got a lifespan, definitely,
That's it.
isn't it?
Fortunately, on the Norwood range, they are greasable bearings, and it's a needle type roller bearing on the Norwood, whereas it's a roller bearing on the Frontiers.
Yeah. And every time, guys, if you've got the greasable band wheels, every start of every day, give it a little, just one pump.
Yeah.
And that's it, job done, isn't
That's
it?
it. You just want to see that grease purge out just behind that thrust washer.
Yeah.
Every day you should be behind that blade guard anyway, clearing out, checking drive belt tension, check your tracking. While you're there, a couple of pumps of grease.
Yeah.
Away you go. That's it.
Absolutely agree. Is there anything that you would sort of say to a potential customer, just as a closing thing, or just use the experience of people that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, if I get a new customer on the phone and they're talking about sawmills, how much are they? That's obviously quite an open-ended question. So my first question to somebody that's looking to get into milling is, what is the maximum log diameter that you want to mill? And some people say as large as possible, and say, well, if that's the case, then HD 38 all the way. But a lot of people say, well, I've only got logs of 18 inches or 26 inches, something like that. So I know then what brackets put them in. It's like, do you want a budget range? Do you want a premium range? I mean, warranty-wise, between the two, there is no difference. So it's 3 years on a Frontier, 3 years on a Norwood. It just sometimes comes down to that. Do they want to spend an extra 1,500 quid for what we class as a premium mill compared to a budget if they're only going to be using it a few days a week? I mean, lifespan of a Norwood sawmill, 20 years plus, without a doubt. We've got LM2000s that are still running in the UK.
I was just about to say, I've seen still old mills
they're
running.
Still going. Frontiers, I would say, lifespan wise, I would think 15 to 20 years. But it all comes down to maintenance. If you don't look after your kit, if you don't schedule your maintenance, your machine will schedule it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Look after you. Look after the engine. Look after the machine.
Yeah.
It'll look after you, no doubt. But of course, anything can break in time as well.
Yeah.
So and having that option to have the spares though to replace is ideal. How many drive belts I've gone through on the Frontier OS 27? 6, 7. But this latest one, obviously, I'm not running it as much now, but it has lasted a lot longer.
Yeah.
This one, and I was talking to you as well. I'll show you before you go. But the idler belt on the drive side is squashed quite a lot. So that's just looking inside your mill and looking at that and going, right, that needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
So things like that.
I mean, it's things like that if a customer phones me up and said, I'm getting a wavy cut, it's check those belts that those blades are running on, because if they start to deform, if you get dirt,
pitch build-up.
Pitch as well.
Build-up is a big one.
If you get dirt between the belt and the actual band wheel itself, the groove, it can tip the belt one way. That can put your blade tracking off, or it can actually pitch the blade up, or it can pitch it down as well. And again, that's going to give you a wavy cut. So it's all about keeping things clean in there, adjusted. That is the heart of your machine. Behind that blade guard is the heart of your machine. And if that's not right, you will not get that perfect cut.
Absolutely. Well, Andy, thank you very much. You are really a VIP to me, because you've opened doors that I didn't even know were even there to open. So thank you very much.
No, your name does come up quite a lot. We have conference calls. Yeah, we have conference calls with Norwood and chat with the guys there. And the one that we had last week, actually on our Teams meeting, I set the background for my Teams meeting as you on the mill at APF.
Oh dear.
So I sat there and Josh was like, I recognise that face. Sure is. It's Mr. Garton sat in the background there. Yeah. So I mean, Nick's been obviously a customer since early 2022, started off with the Frontier range. And then we invited Nick to one of our big forestry shows because I wanted Nick to come and run the Sawmills for us on the stand. So yeah, he gladly did that, came along, enjoyed it. And after that show, you always said, that HD 38, I want one of those.
I did, didn't I?
Then
you spoiled me.
And then 2 years later, we sat here with your HD 38.
Which I also took to the APF show of last year, 2024, toured it down. had it on the show stand, and I was talking honestly, wasn't I, to people. I know we didn't do very well. Well, I know I say we, but we didn't do very well.
The show was quieter than what it has been.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2022, when we had APF then, everybody's come out of lockdown, everybody's itching to buy equipment, they've got the money for it.
It was amazing.
And everybody was just buying all sorts of equipment left, right and centre. 2024, yes, we saw it was a bit quieter. Still good inquiries, still a few sales from the show.
There's a decline. I've seen the decline even people around the show as well. Though.
Yeah, it was just quieter in general.
It was, but I was able to give my honest opinion and my view on a 38. Well, not just a 38, the whole process, because I was showing my mill. It wasn't your mill. It wasn't a mill that you had put together, and people saw me and Josh working on it as well, tinkering with it. Now, a lot of people, when they go to them shows, especially exhibitors, want things running perfectly, don't they? They do. Let's be honest. But you know what? One guy come up to me and says, "What are you doing there?" And we were adjusting the guide wheel onto the belt, and it has to be level, doesn't it? The two guide wheel adjustments pushed
onto
down.
The blade. Yeah.
And he went, "I've never adjusted mine." He's never touched it, and all this time it's probably never actually been running on it properly.
No.
So he used us tinkering with that mill. He went back and he's probably adjusted it in how it should have been properly.
Yeah.
So things like that I think is paramount for people who A, have got them, and B, not everything does run perfectly all the time. We have mess ups. We have.
Of course we do. And if
happen.
something's going to go wrong, it normally goes wrong at a show or in a demonstration. Or that is the time it's going to happen. It's sod's law.
It does. But Andy is, he's been very, very. You've been very good to me, and I have no affiliate to you either. You don't give me any money, do you?
No.
And I tell you what, Andy also does.
I just take it from him.
Takes me money from him, but he also offers me out to people as well, don't you? You pimp me out as well.
I do, yeah.
And I've had people, potential customers phone me up, message me, WhatsApp me, whatever, haven't there? And Andy Dudley's given me your number, and has he? Right, I must make sure I get something from that. Never do. But no, I'm happy to help as well, and having someone like me who's a customer who's experienced everything of the range almost.
Yeah, definitely. It's in this day and age, YouTube now, it's about influencers and things like that, and Norwood are about to run an influencer program as well. So we spoke about it at APF. That we'd like to get yourself involved on that side for like Norwood influencers. They've got quite a few people lined up, and they've actually got quite a very famous one now, Jack Osborne.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he doing it?
Ozzy Osbourne's son, yeah, he's got an HD36.
Really?
Yeah, and he's got that on his YouTube channel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's quite often I search for Norwood Sawmills on YouTube. Right.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out now.
Definitely want to check out.
Yeah, if I find that link as well, I'll put that in some corner or down in the description and show that. That's good. What does he make?
I have no idea.
Okay. But he has one.
I haven't got round to watching the videos.
Have you sold him it then?
No, it's over in America.
He's in America.
Yeah,
I thought he was in the UK. Okay,
No,
right,
no.
okay. See, America is just a different ball game, but
It is, yeah.
yeah, and it does. It takes YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or anything like that. TikTok, even for whilst it's still running for the next 75 days, whilst Trump gets it sold to an American. Not saying I was going to buy it, but. And welcome Trump back into the power. Yes, Trump. Sorry for my views on that. But yeah, it takes those type of people to really give the product either a good name or a bad name.
Definitely, yeah.
And but yeah, for Andy, for me, he's invaluable, and thank you.
Yeah, more than welcome. Thank you, Nick.
You've got your hand warmers in your pocket, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry this has gone on, but you know what? I just could not let this opportunity go with Andy. We missed out at the APF show. Even though it wasn't busy, we still had busy periods of different things going on, didn't we? Where our paths didn't cross enough to take time out for that. But no, I'm glad. Thank you very much. And anything that you guys have, if you have any more questions or anything that we've kind of not reached, not covered or anything like that, let us know. I'll get in touch with Andy and we'll get another update video coming out. But yeah, I've got Stelly cut blades here. He's just dropped me 5 off the coming batches of 5. We are going to be running them through ash, through beech, through larch, Douglas fir, Scots pine and spruce. So there's a big range of species there. Yeah. I think it covers. I haven't got a lot of oak, but I have got some, so I might even run it through the oak for you guys. But spruce is a nightmare tree to mill. It is a really coarse, fibrous tree. If you're going to get a wavy cut, it's normally in spruce. Spruce is the worst. So it'd be interesting to see how these Stelly cut blades hold up to that as well. Mm-hmm. I do, after running it before, I know the Stelly cut is a different cut. You can hear it, you can feel it. I don't know if you've had any feedback on that. No. But when I'm running that Stelly cut blade, I know I'm running it compared to a Sabertooth or one of these German imported blades that I have. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that, guys. We have got a lot of stuff to come up this year. We've got buildings to make. We've got lots of products to make. New adaptations into the workshop and everything else. So this is going to be featured quite heavily, and hopefully get the Frontier OS 27 moved down here as well. So thanks very much, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Andy, say bye. Bye bye. Ciao for now, guys.